This video was brought to you by Noble Knight Games. More about them at the end of the video. Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I'm super thrilled to talk about the second expansion for Canvas. This is going to be mostly about finishing touches, but at the end I will compare it to what Reflections, the first expansion, offers Canvas, the base game. But if you haven't played Canvas at all, you are missing out. This is a fantastic 1 to 5 player game that takes half an hour to play, and it really does. It's got some fantastic mechanics. Players are essentially drafting these transparent cards that have swatches at the bottom in 5 different colors. They get to sleeve 3 cards, and they have to sleeve 3 to create a painting. So on your turn, you are simply drawing or drafting one of the cards that's available in the player area, out in the market essentially, or you are sleeving 3 and creating a painting, and then you're scoring that painting based on these set public objectives that everybody is trying to score on. That's the game. That is the core game. Lovely game. Fantastic mechanics. I love the interaction with the drafting cards because, boy, sometimes you really want a card and you don't have enough painting palettes to get to it, because if you want to get a card that's further on down the row, you have to put a little palette down, and those are your bidding tokens, and when you're out of them, you simply have to draw one from that leftmost card or cards if you're looking at Reflections, which is that first expansion. It's really cool. It's a nice, clever, basic feature where it's a closed economy. Every player starts with a set number of those palettes, and then you use them and then you gain them when you take cards. But when you're out of them, you got to take those leftmost cards. Now, what does Finishing Touches offer players? The first thing it offers is a wild symbol. This is the first time we've ever seen this. It essentially is what you would like it to be, but consistently that when you score for all of your public objectives. So that means it needs to be one particular symbol, and once you've selected that, it is that for that scoring period. Now, you might have multiple stars in which you can choose the different symbol that you want each of those stars to be, but every time you score the 4, you need to make sure that it stays the same. But that's cool. I mean, we've never seen that before where there is a wild symbol, and that can be super flexible when you're looking at these sleeves that you want to get, these transparencies that you want to put into your painting, because you might be really needing to get that color wheel symbol, or you really might need that kind of sunset symbol or the kind of moon symbol, and you're just like, gosh darn it, if I can't find that, or I need that square, I need the triangle. And so you're looking for all these different features, and that star might be exactly what you need. Plus, here's the other cool thing. When you put your painting together and you are essentially scoring it, you might have the opportunity to frame it. And so there are going to be frames, 4 frames for the 4 basic symbols that are in the game. And you can sleeve it in that frame and it stays out on display until someone displaces it. They're essentially going to get higher count of the symbol that that frame is looking for, which might be the square, the color wheel, that kind of moon symbol, or the triangle. Now, there are also the ribbons for the silver star that are black backed and silver foil covered in my copy, and those are going to be 4 victory points at the end of the game, and if your frame or your painting is in a frame at the end of the game, you're going to get a bonus 2 points. So it's really, really cool that you want to essentially add together the stars, which are the wild symbol, and any of the 4 basic shape or symbol types, and then that's going to get you a chance to put it in the frame if it is empty or it exceeds another player's count. Very, very, very cool. I mean, I just really like that feature. There's a couple things going on there with the symbol being wild, with you framing it and potentially getting victory points at the end of the game if it's still there, and also the black silver ribbon in-game that you get once you actually frame one of your paintings. And you still only get to frame or put together 3 paintings in the game, but that all combined is a really, really nice feature to Finishing Touches. In addition to that wild star symbol, there is another symbol that you're going to see in Finishing Touches called the blend symbol, and it looks like a paintbrush. and it actually has the colors of the two colors next to it. And so what it is it says this is copy of what is to one side or the other of that blended paintbrush. And you better believe that blend could also duplicate a wild star, which is fantastic. So just look at where the arrow is pointing, and then you'll see what that blend icon actually duplicates. And then the painter variant, I have to say, is probably my favorite thing. I think this is cool. It gives players a unique personal painter that they get to apply to their game, and it has a variety of implications. Maybe it's an end scoring thing, maybe it's a bonus in the middle of the game, maybe it's a one-time opportunity. Whatever it is, players are going to receive 2 painter cards at the beginning of the game, select one that they want to play with, and then they keep that particular painter. I mean, here are some of the painter cards and how it changes the game and gives you that asymmetrical start for your game. Vincent van Gogh says when making your 3rd painting, immediately make a 4th painting with your remaining cards. That might give you a couple more of those ribbons that you need to bump you up on the scoring for the personal or the public objectives. So cool. Hilma af Klimt, you may have 6 cards in your hand. Now the rule is you can only have 5 cards drawn, and then you're forced to put those cards into your painting, and you sleeve 3. So having 6 gives you even more cards to select from and to draft before you have to pick them. Horace Pippin says your silver ribbons are worth 3 points, and normally they're just worth 2. So when you get those silvers for a variety of reasons, they're now worth the gold ribbon point, which is 3 points. Just for you though. These cards are so cool. I like them. I like them a lot. So I want to play with the painter variant always. And I think it's just going to be a great addition to my game. Alright, so now that I've mentioned all the really cool features and the new things that Finishing Touches offers, where do I place it in the you've gotta get as part of your canvas? I'm going to say, maybe this is shocking, but I think Reflections is a better expansion overall and offers a core mechanic that you cannot pass up. And so what I'm going to say is that if you have the base game, great. If you don't have it, go get it right now. You have to have this game. This is a staple. This is a classic. This is going to be the game that stays in my collection, and I know many other gamers' collections, because it is just that wonderful half-hour light strategy game that's super shareable. It's beautiful, and it's just fun. So Canvas is a fantastic game. If you don't have the base game, go get it. If you're looking at the 2 expansions and you say Reflections, Finishing Touches, I'm going to say Reflections for one very, very big reason. The reason is the board that comes in Reflections offers players 2 choices for the very first spot. Now, in the base game, you essentially lay out all the transparent cards, and if you don't want the first one, you put one of those palettes on it. You don't want the second one, you put a palette. You don't want a third one, you want the 4th card. You have to pay 3 palettes to get to it. And it just makes that first one just a challenge. If you don't want the first one, it's not free. Now, what you get in Reflections with the board is you get 2 choices for the first lot. And I think that opens up so much gameplay. I think it gives more possibilities for cheaper cards, but if you don't want anything in that first column and you want something in the second, you want the second one in, you have to put 1 on both of those. So the cards that you pass up on both the top and the bottom rows, you have to put a palette on to take the next one. So while the cost looks like it's doubled, there's actually twice as many choices for free cards than there are in the opening game and in the base game, and I think that really changes it. I think with 8 cards available, it's more cards that you can see than in the original game. And I like the way that you pay. And there's a bigger economy, closed economy in the Reflections and with Finishing Touches as well. So I think that's essential. And I also think the Reflections, the cards flip over in Reflections, where you can have the symbols and the swatches be different colors when you flip it over. I think that versatility is just amazing. I think it's just so good. So while I like so much of Finishing Touches, and I'm going to keep my copy, and I love my copy, I'm looking at what is bare bones essential, and I think I'm going to have to prioritize Reflections as the first necessary expansion. And then if you like all the things that I talked about with finishing touches, go out and nab that second expansion because it is good. It does offer new things, and it does offer some really, really fun just additions to a game that is very beloved in my house. So good stuff. That's what I think. Boy, I'm so excited. Check this out. I mean, these are my boxes. These are my canvas. I've got my base game, I've got my Reflections, I've got my finishing touches, and they are gorgeous, and they sit up on a shelf in my gaming basement where I get to see all three of them in that nice panorama because these are games that you want to show off. So thank you so much for joining me in my canvas finishing touches. I will see you later, folks. Bye. Noble Knight Games offers a huge selection. Over 250,000 unique products are in stock and ready for immediate shipment. They offer discounted pricing along with easy and secure checkout. I can personally vouch for their fast and friendly customer service, having taken advantage of their trade deals. They promptly replied to my emails, questions, or special requests I had about the games I wanted to sell them and how I wanted to be compensated, either in store credit or cash.